All right, folks. Lotherin and Apparition here.
How you doing?
About to do an arena game.
That's right. I'm just here for side comments.
Yeah, you're here for the contribution.
Call me the peanut gallery.
Apparition and I like to get together on arenas and help each other out when he's playing or when I'm playing. We'll, offer strategy help and, well, hey, I don't think that's a good move. Maybe you should do this instead. And a lot of times that really works out for the best for both of us. We'll get better strategies during the game, better card picks during the draft, and it tends to help us get more wins. So here we go, 150 gold.
No, $1.99.
No. All right.
All right.
Paladin.
I will.
Paladins seem to work out the best for us, both of us.
Actually, yeah. Too. After looking at the rankings of tiers, what Trump and a lot of the larger, higher level players are doing, they say Mage and Paladin are the two top tiers. A lot of it has to do with what class you feel comfortable with, but from my understanding, yeah, those are the two strongest drafting tiers in the arena game.
Yep. Okay, so we got this guy's pretty cool. 2 damage every turn. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage and summon a 1/1 imp. That's sweet. And after you summon a minion, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. I like that.
Yeah.
But in a pally though.
Well, the nice thing is, you always have a guaranteed drop. If you drop her or him, whatever, on turn 4, you drop, and then you play your hero power for a 1/1. That's an instant minion. That counts. Or if you get one of those summon 1 and it summons a second one, that counts as 2 shots from the knife juggler. So I think either way, it does actually count towards, or I know it actually counts towards multiple shots from the knife juggler. So it's really, again, I do say to Lotherin, this is his arena run, so I try and leave it up to him in the end, but I just try and give my input as well.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at the numbers on the bottom, and I'm thinking probably I like the fact that this produces a 1/1 imp every turn, and stack that with the pally ability of summoning a 1/1. You're getting 2 every turn.
Yeah.
But I also like the fact that this guy just throws 2 damage at a random enemy.
Definitely. The only weakness I really know about that is if you face another pally, they have the True Silver Champion, that's an instant 4 damage, it's gone. Or the Priest, which is the Shadow Word Death, I believe it is, where 3 or less attack and then he's gone. But
Yep.
Other than that, if you can drop that behind a taunt, it's going to do damage every turn.
Yep. I kind of like that one, but the Imp Master is so tempting though. I think I'm going to go with the Demolisher on this one though. That's done me well in the past.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to go with my history on that one. Ooh. That is a staple to a pally deck right there.
And I can't believe people have been bagging me on it. People say that it's not a good card. It seems to work in my deck, but I guess I'm looking at arena information too, and people tend to weigh that differently when you're crafting a deck at random. Are you looking to survive? I guess the way the guy put it is there's a difference between winning and not losing. And when you're constantly worried about healing yourself versus doing that damage, but me personally, I like the Holy Light, so I mean, it's really up to you.
Yeah, and I think I want to grab it while I have the chance. At least one in the deck anyways, because everybody loses arena games from time to time. That Holy Light could make the difference between a win and a loss. I've had a lot of games come down to I'm at 2 life, he's at 3 life.
Yep.
Whoever gets the better draw. If I draw a Holy Light, now I'm at 8 life.
Yep.
Makes a huge difference.
Mana, I mean, that's why I think it's such an awesome deal,
And I hate secrets for pally.
Yeah,
they all suck.
So bad.
I like that 1/7 taunt. He's huge. And I'm not very favorable to those 2/5 charge. His damage is too small to make it worth really putting him in your deck. I mean, 4 mana for a 2/5 is decent, but you're not looking for a 2/5 charge for 4 mana. You're looking for a 4/5 Yeti for 4 mana.
That's an excellent point. I agree with him. I'd probably grab the Mogushan.
Alright, a Fen Creeper's beautiful. Humility's pretty nice. This is actually, that's the first time I've seen that one.
Yeah, I've seen him Actually, Kriparian was using him in his paladin, hand-lock paladin, or hand paladin, whatever he calls it. Basically the warlock version, or the paladin version of the handlock.
Yep.
It's a little situational. I mean, you got to make sure that you're putting him out. He's not really a one-drop, obviously, because of the battle cry. But at the same time, who knows if you're going to get any more one-drops.
Mm-hmm.
They're all good picks. I mean, Humility is a little on the weaker end, but the Feng Creeper is a great taunt, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I like the 3/6.
And I tend to go heavy with taunts on a pally deck.
Agreed.
So grab it while I can. Now, here's your first turn stuff. Well, except for the blessing, but do you want to go with a taunt or a raptor? I really like the raptor.
He's such a strong 2-mana cost. You brought me onto him. I
Yep.
wasn't even a big fan of him because he had no card text at all.
Mhm.
But after I started running him in my decks, I'm like, wow. I mean, he's powerful for 2 mana, 3. You know, I mean, it's even if they have a 2/2 or let's say a 2 or what am I trying to say, a 4/2. You know what I mean, or a 4/3. It's if he goes into that raptor, he's out. You know, what I
Yeah.
mean? He's got that 3 attack on him. So
Essentially, he's a first or second turn. Let's get some damage on the board.
yep.
But in a late game, he also takes out minions.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
I like him.
And we do have a taunt too to weigh out that
Mhm.
the 1-drop.
And there's another taunt. Like the 1 damage, but I'm leaning towards a taunt.
I agree. I think the Ironfur Grizzly he's done so well in my Paladin deck.
That's a really nice late game.
Oh man.
Although the Spellbreaker
That's what
is
I'm tied
huge.
between.
Ugh. Never liked the 1/1 for 1 mana. It's
well, the Wind Fury, yeah. I mean, it's like
if you have a lot of boosters in your deck, I could see where that would come in handy.
Blessing of Kings.
Yeah.
One of them. I mean, that's a great turn 5 play. I never even thought of that. You know, you
Mhm.
can't really consider him a 1-drop. He's more of a 4/5 drop.
But now you're relying on a specific combination to come out. Instead of synergizing with your deck, you're synergizing with 1 card.
Exactly. And since the late game is tending to lack a little bit, it's really just a matter of do you want another heal that's with 5/6, or do you want the ability to silence one of those big boys that comes out?
Yep.
Personally, there's not too many Paladin specific cards, so it's possible that he'll show up again. I don't know about the Spellbreaker. Though.
Right. I agree.
And
Plus
he's
the fact
more
that
powerful of the silence.
yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the silence on this one. Just get my silence in my deck, and I'll be happy if it's the only one. This one, I just discovered the usefulness of this guy. I never put him on my deck before, but he's a raptor. 2 mana, 3/2, with the extra ability to destroy opponents' a weapon if it's out there.
Yep.
If it's not out there, hey, he's still a raptor.
Yep, exactly.
What else is there? Give a minion +2 attack this turn. That's not bad.
Yeah.
4 mana, a little pricey.
4/4 though for a 4
Mhm.
isn't a bad trade-off for the mana cost either.
And then return a friendly minion. It's still too early in the draft to decide whether or not that's going to be a useful card.
Yeah, because the only thing I really see that synergizing with is your Mogushan Warden, where you could send him back and kick him back out as a 1/7 again.
Yep.
For the Spellbreaker, because that's a great kickback to silence something else that may come out.
Right, but I'd hate to pull that card, put that card in my deck and have those 2 cards the only one he synergizes with.
Exactly. Whereas I think it would be better to grab that earlier 2-drop and then have the ability to knock a weapon, which is, in my opinion, a
Yeah.
big threat when going against warriors and stuff.
I agree. I think that's going to be their bigger benefit here.
Definitely.
So we'll go with the ooze. I'm going to go with a raid leader on this one because raid leader is just universally synergized.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he'll definitely help everybody on the board. He's kind of like the 6-mana, 6/5,
Yep.
or 6. Is he a 6/5?
It's the
or
Stormwind
six?
champion, I think
Yeah,
it's
or
called.
he's the 6/6, I think, for 6
Yeah.
mana, and he gives +1 to everybody. Kind of the same thing, just a smaller version.
Yep.
Um,
That Hammer of Wrath, though, I like that 3 damage and draw a card. That's huge. In my opinion, 4 mana is a bit expensive for that. 3 mana be better off, but I think it's too expensive. I put it in my custom Pally deck, and it was just I wasn't finding that it was able to cast it. Because I get in a situation where, okay, I can deal 3 damage to that minion and, take it out or reduce its health or whatever, or I can summon a minion.
yeah.
And I don't like that or factor. I want to make it an and factor.
Yep.
And this guy can tend to do that because of the 3 casting costs. I can plop a 3 on there, have 3 other minions on the board, plop him down, and increase everybody. Alright, Imp Master comes up again.
Oh, man.
Whenever a
Arch
character.
Commander is such a powerful card. He's a charge. Granted, he's only a 4/2, but he has Divine Shield when he comes
Yeah,
in as well.
he's huge. He's meant to take out minions
Yes.
and last.
He's
You
one
put
of
him
your
down there and
heroes.
yeah,
Absolutely.
you put him down there and you take out that 5/4 taunt and you still got a 4/2 on the board. Absolutely. And the Blessing of Kings. I don't think there's any argument there.
No way. It's one of the best Pally cards you can get.
And it comes up again.
I would probably grab it again, to be honest with you. I'd
Yep.
never have a problem running 2 in my deck. Anymore, now I would consider backing off.
Yeah.
But,
Absolutely. Let's see. Ooh, that's a toughie. All 3 of them I don't want.
yeah,
I hate when that
I
happens.
would say Redemption is definitely out. I tend to stick away from the secrets with Paladin.
Although that would be the only secret I would consider putting in a deck.
Yes, yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, that's tough, because, you got to rely that they're going to kill a big boy and hope that he comes back. Granted, it's only for 1 life, though, so, it's...
But the thing, that's where I disagreed with the way Blizzard went on this whole secrets mechanics. I don't like the fact that they turn off your secret on your turn. Because Redemption is meant to put your 6/5 taunt on the board. Next turn, your enemy has a 7/5 or whatever, and you want to take him out with your 6/5. You play Redemption, you nail his thing, take him out, and the Redemption kicks in and keeps your guy on the board.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of...
Too much, again, it puts it more into the hands of the opponent, which
Yeah.
is why I sway from secrets. I like to control my own game and not put it, it's already got so much RNG in it. I don't
Yeah.
want to put their aspect into it, too, if I can help it.
So I think I'm going to go with Humility just for the control factor. He's got a, whatever, a 9/5, what is it, a Core Hound?
Yeah.
Now it's a 1/5.
Yep. Yeah, I do like Humility for that.
Speaking of Core Hounds, and I think I might actually take that. He's a decent card for the Amana cast, and that 5/1 Magma Ranger never lives. You put him out, he dies.
Yeah.
One health, come on.
And it stinks, too, because you do have the Blessing of Kings.
That's the only reason why I think I would have.
Well, and if you think about it, now, hear me out on this one.
Mm-hmm.
In a sense, you would have to burn 2 cards to do it on the same turn. Blessing of Kings is 4 mana, so you're going to give him +4/+4, which makes him a 9/5. 4/3 would make it on the 7th turn, so it's basically a Core Hound.
For the same amount of mana.
Exactly, you're better off just taking the Core Hound as an all-in-one.
Exactly.
Versus having to burn it on 2 cards.
So now you're looking at card consumption.
Yep, exactly. That's
Yep.
a great
Good
game
point.
card.
Good point.
Thank you.
I like that guy. I don't think there's going to be a lot of minions most of the time because everybody's playing control.
Yeah, and it's friendly specifically. It's not like the other ones that build off to everybody on the board.
Yeah, so I'm liking the 5/5 stealth though.
He's so strong. He's one of the best stealths I
Yep.
think in the game because it can't be taken out by a consecration or even a flame strike for that matter, because that's only
Right.
4 damage. So you still got a 5 on the board.
And I would take the Nightblade. I really like that card. I like the fact that yes, it's 5 casting costs instead of 4, but I like the fact you're getting a 4/4 on the board and dealing 3 damage to your opponent's head.
Yeah, most
But-
4s cost 4 mana, and then you're adding 1 more mana cost for the direct 3 to the face.
Yep.
But
Right now I'm looking for more efficiency, and when I have given the choice of the 2, I think I'm going to lean towards the stealth in this situation.
Yeah, I would probably go the same way, to be honest with you.
Oh, beautiful.
I would grab it now.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
That's, to me, again, one of the best weapons in the game.
And I think I'm going to go with the Priestess. Again, a little late game healing after you've taken a pummeling before you get your big guns out.
Yes. Did you tell them about the laundry in the background?
Oh yeah, I didn't mention that. You're probably hearing a lot of noise. It's not my computer, it's not the microphone. I'm doing laundry. We've got banished to the basement, the Hearthstone dungeon.
Down to the Hearthstone dungeon.
And there's laundry going on in the background, so if you hear a lot of clicking and banging, that's what it is. 6/5 taunt. Oh, I love that card.
The Lord of the Arena. He is such a powerful card. And so many big guys big players that play in tournaments use Mad Bomber, and I get so scared because I've seen him deal all 3 to your own face.
Yeah.
And that's just not worth the risk in the 2 mana cost for
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
I'd rather take a Knife Juggler.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or a raptor, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what he is. He's a raptor with that random effect going on.
Right. As far as the Thrallmaster, that's something, I mean, I don't think we have enough taunts to be able to know that you could drop him behind somebody.
Exactly.
And know that he'll survive to get that Wind Fury effect. So, I mean, I'd probably take
Yeah.
the Lord of the Arena.
He's tempting, though. I like that 2/3 Wind Fury, but, again, like Apparition said, there's not enough taunts to back him up. And there's the Yeti.
Yeah.
And, ooh.
Yeah.
What are we looking for mana curve here? We've got a good amount of 4s. Don't have that many 2s.
Let's see, 2 drops. There's the Swamp Ooze, the Raptor. 4 drops is the Warden and the Spellbreaker. So, I mean, you're actually even on minions, per se. Now you gotta look at value. And personally, as I believe Trump pointed out that the Yeti is probably the most value for a 4-mana card in the entire game.
Yeah, I agree. He's huge.
As much as I love the taunts, and the Frostwolf Grunt is a beast at 2,
Yep.
because it forces you to have to get rid of him. The Yeti is kind of the same way, and especially with Blessing of Kings, you're talking at 8-9.
Oh, yeah, and I've seen that happen. Emperor Cobra is beautiful.
Yeah.
I don't like equality unless you build your deck around it. You don't want to screw yourself.
You would need we haven't seen a Consecration. We haven't seen a Wild Pyromancer. That's really what you need to make Equality work efficiently, because Equality you want to do when you already have a card that can lower an attack. You know what I mean? So you can dumb him down already. I think the Cobra is probably the best play. Divine Favor is really risky because if they have less cards than you do, it's just a dead card in your hand.
Yep. And the Cobra is so nice because if you can get him to survive until your turn, you can decide who you're taking out with him, and it takes out anybody.
Yep.
As long as you don't have the taunt factor. Let's see, Redemption. Nope. I'm thinking Argent Protector on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely going to say, because the 4s are getting a little heavier now. The only nice thing about the Dread Corsair is if you saved him for when you had your sort of, what is it, the True Silver Champion, he's a free.
Yep.
You know,
he's 0 mana.
And he's a taunt at that. So, but
even a 3/3 taunt for 4 mana, even if there was no weapon out there, still not a bad card.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing, is that people will tell you there's a 3/3 taunt
for 3 mana, the bear.
So it's really, that weapon is what really makes it worth it. And
Yeah. I have one weapon right now.
If you had a second True Silver, I would say without a shadow of a doubt to
Yeah.
Corsair, but that Archer Protector is a great drop.
He is.
And you can protect somebody like the Yeti even to keep him alive, you know.
Again, you got that factor of, okay, I've got a 6/5 taunt on the board, I want to kill that thing and make him live, throw Divine Shield on him.
Yep, absolutely. And there's the True Silver.
Nice.
Oh, man.
And I think I might, I've got one of these already, I don't have Ascension yet. And I,
minions. You have the Chillwind Yeti, the Warden, and the Spellbreaker, and then you have 2 Blessing of Kings and a True Silver Champion. So you have 3 spells and 4 minions, or no, 3 spells and 3 minions. So you're actually even on the 4 drops between. But then one of those minions is kind of situational, where you want them to have a silence.
Right. So maybe I want to go with Ascension, even though that True Silver is just so nice.
And if you look on any arena ranking deck, that is one of the highest rated cards for Paladin is the
True Silver
Champion. It is considered an excellent card. Shieldmaster, I believe, falls under good, but they also say that doesn't mean you have to go by the book. You have to keep an eye on your mana curve and your needs as well.
Exactly. And right now, I think we need some taunts.
There's some earlier taunts at that, you know. I agree. As much as I hate to say this, I would probably have to.
Speaking of the bear.
I hate to say it, but
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're pretty good on minions though, just not on taunts. Actually, I'm looking at a decent amount of taunts here. We've got... There's 1, 2, 3... No, I thought that was a taunt at first. 4. So 4 taunts out of 21. Yeah, I think I want to go with another taunt at this point. Like I said before, I play heavy on taunts with my paladin. That's what, the taunts and the heals.
The heals.
And another Yeti. Can't go wrong with 2 of those guys.
Not hurt at all. Yeah.
Oh, there's another Spellbreaker if I wanted him. Although the Cult Master is pretty tempting. But he dies quick.
He does. I mean, but since you have the taunts to back it up now, you have 5 taunts. He's a great guy to drop behind that Iron Fur, and it only costs you 7 mana, and when they take him out, that's an instant card.
Yep. But for 4 mana, though.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta hope that they won't take him out right after. It's for him to get his value.
I'm thinking maybe an early taunt would probably be a better idea.
Yeah, you don't have any 1-drops. It's a humility, so that's not going to be played on turn 1.
Yeah.
I would probably say it'd be better to grab the footman at this point.
Okay. Taunts and more taunts.
I know, right? Well, I would say you should go with a taunt.
I already have a Iron Fur. I already have a Lord of the Arena. So right now, just judging by the mana curve, I've got like a few 6s and a few 3s.
Yeah, I mean, and just remember too, you never want to overload on the end game stuff. Like,
right.
Even though mine is based around end game, my mana curve towards 4s is still the highest. Just like that, pretty much.
And I'd hate to take the 6 and then like my next draft or whatever get like Ragnaros or something,
Yeah.
And then I'm overloading it. I think I'm gonna go with the early game.
Yeah, just in case somebody big comes along, that way you don't overload your game either.
Yep. This guy is pretty sweet.
He is, and I already took him back out though.
Yeah, because it's only the 3 life. He dies quick.
Yeah, and I mean, granted, we definitely have the taunts to back him up, but even then, he's still only 3 life. So I mean.
Well, there's your other Holy Light though.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's between those 2. The Silverhand Knight is a great cast for 5 mana to get 2 minions, a 4/4 and a 2/2.
Yep. And then you drop Blessing of Kings on the 2/2. Now you've got a 4/4 and a 6/6.
Right, exactly.
But that Holy Light is going to be needed. Because again, not a lot of early game stuff here going on.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it does start up around 2-drop, 3-drop. Hopefully nobody else will have anything either that early in the game. Well, what do you have in your 5s? You have the Fen Creeper, the Tiger, and that's it.
For the 2s, I have Holy Light already. I got the Acid Swamp Ooze, the Argent Protector, the Raptor. So I'm thinking maybe the Silverhand might be the better option at this point.
Yeah, I think I might agree. Just because, again, it helps flood the board. It gives them more to have to take out for it to make a difference.
Yep. Oh, Leper
I
Gnome.
would probably say, yeah. Just because you only have one mana drop.
Great for early game.
Yeah, absolutely. There's the guy that I just dropped in my deck, the Spiteful Smith.
Yep.
He's actually pretty handy. 4/6 for 5 mana, but then your weapon gains 2.
Yep.
If you had that second sword, I would absolutely
Exactly.
say,
That I've only seen in arenas. I haven't constructed it, haven't gotten it out of packs or anything. But that's cool.
It's cool because a lot of people tend to cast it on their own minions. I tend to cast it on the other guy's minions, and then go around him and force him to be able to attack. That way I'm almost guaranteed a card, unless he can silence himself. You know what I mean? So if he drops on the big boy, you just drop it on him, and it's like, do you really want to silence yourself now?
Right? Or even better still, he puts a 2/2 and then buffs the living heck out of him, and you drop that on him. Now he said, oh, I don't want to silence that guy.
Yeah, exactly, because then he's down to nothing.
Yep.
That's tough. I mean, I'd say the Spiteful Smith it's only going to synergize really good with one card in your deck.
Yeah, and it's not worth putting it in there for one card synergy. Whereas this guy, the Blessing of Wisdom, can synergize pretty much anywhere. Is that the washer doing that banging? Yeah, I think it is. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Blessing of Wisdom in this one. Because drawing cards is huge in any deck.
Especially with all the mid to late game stuff, it'll get that stuff in your hand faster, which really makes a difference in mid-range game.
Yep. I like the 2/2 taunt.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, and I just thought of a good way to run Repentance, come to think of it, is if you drop a big boy and leave him as a taunt Stormwind champion, the only guy on the field, or I'm sorry, Lord of the Arena is his name, he's 6/5, 6 mana taunt. Leave him as the only guy on the field, so they gotta burn 5 damage, or take 6 to each person that's attacking him to take out 5 life, and then eventually he's gone and he comes right back as a 6/1 taunt.
Yep.
But that's what I was just saying in general. I just did think that's actually not a bad way to play Repentance if you did ever do a secret, but in Arena,
yeah, I don't like it.
Really risky in my opinion.
I've got an Argent Protector already, so I think I might go with a 2/2 taunt.
Yeah, that'll give you a taunt in the second slot, which isn't a bad thing to have either. This mana curve is looking very nice.
2 more cards to go. Here's a rare, an epic, I mean. Battle Cry. All minions lose Divine Shield and get +3/+3.
That Big Game Hunter takes out anybody that's 7 and above.
Yep.
That's an insta-kill to any big boy. He drops a Core Hound, a Giant, anything, they're gone by a 3 mana cost, and you can still do a bunch of stuff afterwards.
Yep.
I don't think you have very many pirates.
No, I don't think I have any. I might have one, I don't know.
So, I mean, since you only have the one Argent Protector, and I think that's the only Divine Shield in your hand.
Yep, it's the only one.
Deck, I should say.
It's not going to synergize well,
right.
Even though it's a 3/3 for 3.
Right. I mean, it's definitely a good drop. It's just I think the 3s. Either way, you're looking at 3 mana, but Big Game Hunter is more of a late game play.
Yeah. And actually, another thing about Blood Knight too is what if you're playing against somebody that has a bunch of Divine Shields out?
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point, and
I kind of like having that option of, keep that in my hand. If I get my Divine Shield out, great, now he's a 6/6, right? Yeah. But if the other guy's playing a Pally or whatever and has a couple of Divine Shields out there and I'm struggling, I'm like, oh man, I can't take this guy, he's got freaking Divine Shield.
Right.
Gone.
Yeah, well, that's right, because he takes the Divine Shield. So they're still alive, but he removes everybody's Divine Shield.
Yeah.
It's +3/+3 for everyone he takes.
Yep.
So
he could be a 9/9 with just 2 Divine Shields out there.
Right, and that's I think where you gotta weigh it is do we have do you have any super removal for a large creature, somebody over 7 or over 6, I should say.
Not really. Not aside from the taunts.
You know what I mean? And taunts aren't even so much removal, more as prevention from him getting to you. That's the only way I look at it. And I mean, if you want the Blood Knight, I'm not going to stop you. Please take what you feel comfortable with. I'm just letting you understand where I'm coming with the Big Game Hunter.
It's a hard shot. The only thing I worry about, the Blood Knight, if he doesn't get his Battle Cry effect, he's still a 3/3 for 3.
Yep.
Big Game Hunter, same thing. If he doesn't get his Battle Cry, he's a 4/2 for 3, which is decent. My thing is, again, Big Game Hunter depends on the late game. It depends on your opponent having something with 7 or higher damage. It'll happen, but I mean, it's the same can be said about the Blood Knight, though.
Right.
Are they going to have Divine Shields out there? It's not very likely that they'll be out there, but sometimes they are. Yeah. And I think I'm going to lean towards what you were saying, though, with you want to have that big, nasty killer.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just because I think you play up to 15 games in a region.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you go, 12-0 or 12-2 or 12-3, I should say, or whatever. However it winds up turning out, you could look at a lot of games and face a lot of decks, and it's either one is a great card. They're epics, and that's why they're epic.
Yep.
But I think that was a great choice. I personally would have gone with that, just because, again, it gives you that huge late game removal, since you are more focusing towards mid to late, which is what Pally is known for, is dragging it out until you can't hold the board anymore, and then he just pummels you.
Yep. So giving you a last look at the whole deck. If you see a card you don't recognize, I'm not going to mouse over all of them. You can see the video. You can see them all, or you can look them up. But that's the deck. I'm going to break these up into separate videos just for making it easier to upload, making the file sizes smaller. So this is my draft. I'll be posting all the videos of all the games that I play from this arena in the same playlist. So go ahead and click on the next one. I'll put them in order, like label 1, 2, 3, etc. so that it'll put it in order. And I'll look forward to seeing you again shortly.